Hey guys, this is James White with Freakin' Reviews, bringing you as seen on TV product reviews, gadget reviews, and more. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so for more videos like this. Now, today I've got something by request, something a little different. I'm comparing expensive batteries and cheap batteries to see how much of a difference there really is. There's a lot of different batteries out there. I could have compared dozens of them, but I wanted to keep it to a small number, so I've got 3 and 3. So let me show you the batteries I got and the tests I'm going to perform to see how they compare. All right, so this is what I've got. I've got two teams right here. These are the expensive batteries and these are the cheap batteries. And really, it's kind of like 2 expensive, 2 cheap, and 2 perceived as each, but that's a little bit different. These were both at the dollar store. These are CVS Brand batteries, and these are the regular Duracells. But actually, the CVS brand was more expensive, so I think this is perceived as a cheap brand. This is perceived as an expensive brand, but it'll be interesting to see how they compare, especially since that one's a little bit more expensive. So I'm going to run them as teams, run them as individuals, compare both of those, and see how they actually do. Now here's the test I'm going to perform. I know that probably looks utterly ridiculous, but I've got 6 fans. I'm going to go 3 expensive, 3 cheap. I haven't blown them away from each other so the airflow doesn't affect each other. Again, not scientific, but I'm trying to keep it as fair as I can. I had to put it in this contraption so they won't fall because these don't stand up on their own. And this is the second time I've tried this. I had a whole other video I spent 3 days on that failed miserably. But right now, let me load these up with batteries and start my test to see how they compare. So while I'm loading this up, let's take a look at the tail of the tape. In this corner, we have the Team Big Spenders, the Duracell Quantums, the Energizer Ultimate Lithiums, and the regular Duracells. In this corner, we have the low renters. We got Panasonic, Sunbeam, both purchased at the dollar store. The CVS brand purchased at CVS. So what I've got is 6 sets of batteries, so I have a fan for each one. But I'm going to do 4 rounds because I have 4 batteries in each pack. I'm going to rotate the fans, so different batteries with a different fan each time to try to mix up the results a little bit, and compile all the data at the end and see who comes out on top, not just for duration, but also for cost per hour to see which one's most cost efficient. So let's get started right now. All right, now it's time to turn these all on and start the stopwatch and then wait. Panasonic, Sunbeam, CVS, Duracell Quantum, Energizer Ultimate Lithium, regular Duracell. There we go, we have fans. Stopwatch is going. Now it's just a matter of waiting. Which one will die first? Which one do you think? My guess is the Panasonic dies first, and the Energizer Lithium lasts the longest, but we'll see. Each fan takes 1 AA battery, so I can't imagine lasting that long. We are at the 30-minute mark. They're still going strong. None of them seems to be showing any sign of slowing down. So the Team Big Spenders and the Team Low Renters are battling head-to-head. It's a tough match. We're at the almost 3-hour mark, and the Panasonic is starting to fade. The others are still hanging in there. Panasonic not doing so well. Not feeling too well. It didn't make it. It just stopped seconds shy of the 3-hour mark. Panasonic, the first to fall in this epic battle. All right, at the 4:01 mark, the Sunbeam has just crapped out. It's done. So Team Low Renters are not doing too well today. But it's got 1 more contestant to go. See how it does. The CVS brand has just died at the 4:13 mark. It's a slaughter. Team Low Renters are all out, while the Team Big Spenders are still going strong. All right, we are at 5 hours and 54 minutes, barely hanging on now for the regular Duracells. Starting to see a little bit of wobbling over there on the Quantums, and right now the Energizer Ultimate Lithium is still going strong. And it's dying. It just died. It just died. 5:58. Didn't make it to 6 hours. The other thing to consider is, even though this side didn't last as long, what about the cost per hour? That's something else to consider. And, oh, there it goes. $616 for the Duracell Quantum. And it was the most expensive. It was the most expensive, and it did not last the longest. Look at this. The Energizer Ultimate Lithium. It's not even wobbling. It is going strong. It's definitely gonna be the longest lasting, but let's see later on if it's the most cost efficient. But right now, the Energizer can bask in its glory of winning the contest of all the other contenders. And the final one has just stopped the Energizer at 803. 803 it is. The Energizer way out on top of the others. Let's take a look at round one duration results. Now, Team Big Spinners obviously pulled out ahead. Quantum 6 hours, 16 minutes. Energizer Lithium 8 hours, 3 minutes. And Duracell 5 hours, 58 minutes. An impressive showing by Team Big Spinners. Now, obviously the low renters not quite as strong. CVS top of the pack there at 4 hours, 13 minutes. Sunbeam right behind at 4 hours, 1 minute. Panasonic kind of far behind at 2 hours, 59 minutes. So now let's take a look at the cost per hour, which is how cost efficient these batteries are. Things are a little bit different there. Now looking at these results, CVS way on top, the most expensive of the batch, 29.6 cents per hour. Team Big Spinners, obviously more expensive. Quantum 27.9, Energizer 19.5, and Duracell 16.8. Now the Sunbeam and Panasonic, even though they didn't perform as long because they're 25-cent cost, they were the cheapest per hour, 6.2 and 8.4 cents a piece. Very interesting results. This is just round one. Let's take a look at the next 3 rounds, compile all the data, and do the final results. And we're off. We're 13 seconds in. Let's see if they compare to the first round and how well the batteries all did then. Maybe they'll do better, maybe they'll do worse. Panasonic died first. This time only 2 hours and 27 minutes. Last time it lasted almost 3 hours. Sunbeam just died. Sunbeam just died at the 3:56 mark. And the CVS has just stopped at the 4:45 mark. The regular Duracell just stopped at the 6:05 mark. Oh, I think we got an upset here. The Energizer just pooped out really quickly. And there it goes. The Energizer is, oh, it just died. 6:31, not nearly as long as the first round. And the champion of this round just ended. The Duracell Quantum lasted 7 hours and 21 minutes. All right, I've just rotated all the fans once again. Started round 3, we're 2 minutes into it. Let's see if we have the same pattern or if any new contenders arise. Oh, and the Panasonic just died at the 2:22 mark. And the Sunbeam just stopped at 4:19. CVS just died at the 4:45 mark at the exact same time as round 2. And there it goes at the 5:07 mark. All right, round 3 just ended, 7:15 for the Quantum, 7:23 for the Energizer. Very close, but round 3 is over. All right, the fans have been rotated, new batteries inserted. We're starting round 4. We're 16 seconds into it. This is the final one. And there it goes. The Panasonic just died at the 2:25 mark. It's been pretty consistent, consistently in 4th place. 3:57 for CVS. 3:57. And Duracell just stopped. Duracell Quantum just stopped at the 6:41 mark. And the Energizer Lithium just stopped at the 6:44 mark, and that concludes our test. Energizer Lithium was the last man standing, but let's see the results. Crunch all the numbers and see who comes out really on top for longest lasting and the most cost efficient. This is the sheet that I made my notes on as I was going. Now, one thing I noticed, these numbers here, this is the time obviously. This is the fan number per round as I rotated them because I numbered the fans. Fan number 1 and 4 seem to consistently perform lower than 2, 3, 5, and 6. See, 1 is lower, 1 is lower. 1 and 4 the lowest, 4 is the lowest, 4 is the lowest. So I think the fair thing to do is to take the top 2 results from each set of batteries. That way we're getting their best performances, average those out, and then compare. So let's do that right now. All right, so what I was going to do is take the top 2 results, just in case 2 of the fans might have been draining on the batteries more than the others. But as it turns out, that doesn't really matter because it doesn't affect the final results. All right, so I'm kind of excited to see what the final results are. Let's take a look. All right, when you look at the duration of all the batteries, this is the average between all 4 rounds. It's similar to the round 1. The Energizer Ultimate Lithium came in on top at an average of 7 hours and 10 minutes. Right behind that's the Duracell Quantum at 6 hours 53 minutes. The regular Duracell is pretty strong for as inexpensive as they were at 5 hours 41 minutes. Not unexpectedly, the Team Low Renters also kind of on the bottom. CVS 4 hours 25 minutes, Sunbeam 4 hours 13 minutes, and Panasonic 2 hours 33 minutes. Comparing that with just the top 2 in duration, as you can see, although the times may have changed just a little bit, the order of finish didn't change at all. So really, I think looking at either one will still yield you the same results. So let's take a look at the cost per hour now. All right, the Team Big Spinners, the Quantums were the most expensive, 25.4 cents per hour. Right behind that, Energizers and Duracell, actually respectable 17.6. Back to the Team Low Renters, CVS way out in top, 28.3 cents, the most expensive, more expensive even than the Duracell Quantums per hour. And the most cost efficient would be the Sunbeams at 5.9 cents, followed by the Panasonics at 9.8. Once again, if we look at just the top 2 results, the numbers change a little bit, but the order does not change at all. Let's look at the team results here. Big Spinners way out in front, 47.36 minutes versus 33.74 for low renters. The cost per hour, 21.9 versus 15.6. Not a huge difference in the cost per hour, really. But if you take out the Duracell and take out the CVS, which were kind of the middle ground ones, quite a big difference. The Big Spinners way out in front for the minutes, and the low renters way below as far as cost per hour goes. So in conclusion, it would appear that the Energizer Ultimate Lithiums are the longest lasting of the batteries I tried, but the Sunbeams were the most cost efficient. So it depends on what you're using them for. For something you're changing down a lot of batteries, you might want to go with a Sunbeam. Something that you don't want to change too often, probably go with the Energizer Lithiums. I should point out that the Sunbeam are the high drain versions. I believe they have a low drain version, so keep an eye out for those when you see them at the dollar store. Now for those of you who want to see all of the numbers, I'll put all of them in the description below. So what do you think about these results? I know they're not scientific, but I think they give a pretty good idea of where these batteries fall as far as duration and cost. Have you tried an experiment like this? Do you have a favorite battery? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe for more videos like this, and until next time, this is James White with Frequent Reviews. Thank you.